الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على أشرف الأنبياء والمرسلين سيدنا ونبينا محمد وعلى آله وأصحابه وأزواجه ومن تبعهم بإحسان إلى يوم الدين. أما بعد، فأعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. قل أطيعوا الله والرسول فإن تولوا فإن الله لا يحب الكافرين. صدق الله العظيم. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala have mentioned it again and again in Quran that He made this deen very easy. There is no difficulty in following the deen. Sometimes when we look at our situations, it looks like it is difficult to follow certain things. There are things that seem to be very hard. So how should we understand these ayahs of the Quran where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, مَا جَعَلَ عَلَيْكُمْ فِي الدِّينِ مِنْ حَرَجٍ. He have not put any hardship, difficulty in this deen for you. Basically, if we look at the main requirement of our deen, we would realize that if we just fulfill that one requirement, then everything is easy. And that is getting into the habit of obeying Allah and His Messenger sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. This is all we have to do. This is the beginning and this is the end. This is everything. Obedience to Allah and His Messenger sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Sometimes you see a couple of brothers in a family, and some of them feel that it's very difficult to deal with their father, and some other feel, no, it's not difficult, it's easy. Basically, in this situation, mostly the difficulty does not come from that side, it's coming from the side of these children who feel that it's difficult. Because when they feel that we want to do whatever we feel like doing, then dealing with their father becomes very difficult. Because he is always telling them to do something and they don't want to do it. Or he's stopping them from doing something and they want to do it. But the other son, he doesn't care of what his feelings are. All he wants to do is just do what his father wants him to do. So he feels that it's very easy. Because he's in the habit of obeying his father. So now when the father says do it, he does it. He says don't do it, he doesn't do it. So for him it's very simple. For the other one it's very difficult. Why did he say do it? I don't want to do this. This is exactly how our situation is. For some people, deen is very simple and very easy. Allah says do it, they do it. He says don't do it, they would not do it. That's it. This is how simple it is for them. And for other people, it's very difficult. The very same order becomes difficult for other people because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says do it and He doesn't want to do it. As we see our situation many times, waking up for Salat al-Fajr may be very difficult. Alhamdulillah, still, Alhamdulillah, we are talking to a group of people that loves Salah, and we would always love to do the Salah, looking forward to at least fulfill our fara'id. But of course we know that there are people who feel that even fulfilling the fard salah is very difficult. Why do I have to wake up that early? But at the same time we know that there are people who love it so much that they would wake up hours before the salah to do some additional prayers. So for those people, just waking up for Salat al-Fajr is not only that it's very simple and easy, they're looking forward to it. And there are some other people It's difficult to wake up even for Salat al-Fajr. So it's just getting into the habit of obedience, of obeying Allah and His Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Once a person develops that habit, everything becomes easy. The whole deen becomes easy and simple. And when that habit is not there, then the simplest thing becomes difficult. The difficulty is not because this person is not able to do it, because he does not have the ability of doing it. The difficulty is because this person does not have the habit of obeying Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That's it. It's extremely simple if we look at it. We wake our children up for Salat al-Fajr, and they don't want to wake up. And many times we see children, in fact we may have done it ourselves when we were young, that go and stand in the saf without wudu, having it too difficult to do wudu, to get up and wash our hands and face in the morning, early morning. Oh, I have to go and wash my face. I don't want to do it. The very same child, you wake him up for swimming, will jump out of his bed. And this child who did not even want to wash his face, now he is totally in the water. His whole body is in the water and he loves it. So washing the face was not difficult. The difficulty was not in washing the face. It's only he does not want to do this. Otherwise, if really washing the face was difficult, then swimming would have been even more difficult. Jumping into the swimming pool would have been extremely impossible for this child who doesn't even want to wash his face. But the problem is not of having water on his face. The problem is from somewhere else, and that is in the heart. He did not want to do this, and he looks forward to do this. This is exactly what it is with the Sharia. For people who love Sharia, who look forward to follow the Sharia, for them, the orders of the Sharia are very simple, very easy. In fact, they look forward to it. And this is exactly what we need to do for ourselves. Develop the habit of obeying Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Looking forward to receive the order of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and follow it. Looking forward to see what Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam wants from us and go ahead and do it. This was the habit of Sahaba Ridwanullahi alayhim ajma'in. This is what Sahaba Ridwanullahi alayhim ajma'in learned from Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. And Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam was continuously giving them lessons about how they should obey Allah and His Messenger sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, and how much obedience they should be for Allah and His Messenger sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. We find amazing incidents that took place during the time of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, where he is teaching them real lessons of what the real obedience is, what the real following of deen is. Sayyidina Ubay ibn Ka'b radiyallahu anhu, he says, once I was performing salah. Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam called me. Ubay, come. I finished my salah, and then I went to Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. He said, Ubay, why are you so late? Didn't you hear me calling you earlier? Yes, Ya Rasulullah, I was performing salah, and this is why I didn't come. So as soon as I finished my salah, I came to you, Ya Rasulullah. Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam asked him the second question. Ubay, didn't you read the ayah of Quran that says, Istajibu lillahi wa rasuli إِذَا دَعَاكُمْ, that obey Allah and His Messenger sallallahu alayhi wa sallam when they call you? This was a mistake on your behalf, that you heard me calling you and still you thought you want to continue with your salah. You should have right away break your salah and come to me. That salah was nafil prayer. And when Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam calls someone, it's fard for the person to reply to Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. You should have left the salah and come to me right away. He said, Ya Rasulullah, I'm sorry. I made a mistake. Sahaba Ridwanullahi alayhim ajma'een, as soon as they used to recite the kalima, Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah wa ashhadu anna Muhammadan abduhu wa rasuluh, they knew that the requirement from now on is that I have to fully submit myself to Allah and His Messenger sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. This kalima simply meant full submission to Allah and His Messenger sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. They knew that they can never do anything against this order once they have recited the kalima, once they have witnessed for the oneness of Allah and the prophethood of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. That's it. Then they are obligated that they have to fulfill every order of Allah and His Messenger sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. And of course, they used to come into the deen of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala with this understanding, and then they would do their best to do whatever they can to obey Allah and His Messenger sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. And we all know from the seerah of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam and from the ahadith, and in fact even from the ayahs of the Quran al-Kareem, how obedient they were to Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. So they were trying their best. And they were doing whatever they could to please Allah and His Messenger sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, and always obey them. Always obey Allah and His Messenger sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Now, once the ayah of Quran al-Kareem was revealed, where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, وَإِن تُبْدُوا مَا فِي أَنفُسِكُمْ أَوْ تُخْفُوهُ يُحَاسِبْكُمْ بِهِ اللَّهُ. Whether you reveal what's in your heart or you conceal it. You talk about it or you hide something that's in your heart, in your mind. You don't even mention it to anyone. يُحَاسِبْكُمْ بِهِ اللَّهُ. Allah will judge you for it. For us, after we recite this ayah, it means nothing. Okay. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying that يُحَاسِبْكُمْ بِهِ اللَّهُ, He will judge us. And we'll see what happens. But when this ayah of Quran was revealed, Sahaba Ridwanullahi alayhim ajma'een were extremely disturbed by the message of this ayah. The thing that was disturbing them was that they went to Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam and they mentioned it to him also. Ya Rasulullah, we have been trying our best to please Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and we do whatever we can to fulfill the order of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and always please Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Up to this day, from the time that we became Muslims, and up to this day, we always did everything we could to obey Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and to get the pleasure of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. But now, we have been ordered to do something that is out of our control. This thing is out of our control. تُبْدُوا مَا فِي أَنفُسِكُمْ أَوْ تُخْفُوهُ. Even if we hide what's in our heart, we don't speak about it, we don't want it, it's a thought that goes through my mind, Allah will judge me for it. This simply means that we all are going to be punished in Akhirah. Allah will be displeased with us because we have no control over our thoughts. These thoughts, they come and go, and no control whatsoever about it. It's just like if a law is made in the country that if a bird will fly over your house, you will have to pay a penalty. You will get a ticket if a bird goes over your house. It's something that is out of our control, and really, if that type of order would come up, we all will be disturbed. I have to pay $100 for each bird that flies on top of my house? No, we won't agree to this. We'll protest, we'll do this, we'll do that. This is out of our control. We have no control over these birds. Sahaba Ridwanullahi alayhim ajma'een, to them, displeasure of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala was something that would worry them the most. For us, if we have to spend some money, then that's the thing that worries us. You got a ticket if a bird will fly, yes, this will worry us. Because I'm losing money. But we recited this ayah hundreds of times, and no worry whatsoever. Because the different habits. This is what we are talking about. Sahaba Ridwanullahi alayhim ajma'een are always looking forward to please Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and to obey Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So when they complained to Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, it was a very genuine complaint. And we can all understand that these Sahaba Ridwanullahi alayhim ajma'een, who are always looking forward to please Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and they're doing their best, and they sacrifice so much. They sacrifice so much just for the pleasure of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And now something comes on their way that tells them that you may be losing all of that. You may lose all of that sacrifice, everything is just gone because of your thoughts that are going through your mind. And you will be punished, and Allah will be displeased, and Allah is going to judge you for it. When they went and talked to Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam about it, subhanallah, Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam's response was not, oh yes, I agree with you people. And this shows that your iman is very strong. In fact, now, Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam was testing their love for Allah and His Messenger sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. And he asked them, أَمُتَهَوِّكُونَ أَنْتُمْ كَمَا تَهَوَّكَتِ الْيَهُودُ وَالنَّصَارَى? Are you people are still in doubt the way Jews and Christians were in doubt about the orders of Allah? Are you in doubt about the orders of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that if it's something that I can do, then I would obey and I would follow, and something I cannot do, then I would not obey? This is out of my control, so I cannot obey this? He says, your responsibility is when you know that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said it, right away say that we believe in Allah and we accept the orders of Allah. قُولُوا آمَنَّا بِاللَّهِ وَمَا أُنزِلَ إِلَيْنَا. That's it. Believe in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. When they said that, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala revealed these ayahs. آمن الرسول بما أنزل إليه من ربه والمؤمنون كل آمن بالله وملائكته وكتبه ورسله. The Messenger sallallahu alayhi wa sallam and the believers, they submitted themselves, they obeyed the order of Allah, and they submitted themselves fully to the orders of Allah. If Allah says this, that's fine, we accept this too. Subhanallah, what an obedience. There can't be any higher level of obedience than this when they realize that this is out of our control, but still Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said, if Allah said it, then you should obey. Okay, Ya Rasulullah, yes, we realize it was our mistake. If Allah said it, then we obey it. We accept this order too. That's it. Because our responsibility is just to obey Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and we agree to the obedience of Allah. We believe in this. وَقَالُوا سَمِعْنَا وَأَطَعْنَا غُفْرَانَكَ رَبَّنَا وَإِلَيْكَ الْمَصِيرُ. This is what they said at that time. We heard the order of Allah, وَأَطَعْنَا, and we obey Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. سَمِعْنَا وَأَطَعْنَا. We heard it and we obeyed. And what an obedience. غفرانك ربنا. Ya Allah, we seek your forgiveness for having that question earlier about this order. They're seeking Allah's forgiveness even for having that question in their mind. When they said these words, سمعنا وأطعنا غفرانك ربنا وإليك المصير, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala revealed the next portion of the surah, لا يكلف الله نفسا إلا وسعها لها ما كسبت وعليها ما اكتسبت. Allah will not hold anyone responsible for anything that is out of this person's control. لها ما كسبت وعليها ما اكتسبت. You will be rewarded for whatever good you do, and whatever bad you do, it's against you. So it's only a'mal, it's not the thoughts. That thing is gone now. That order was lifted, was abrogated. That we will not be questioned for our thoughts that go through our mind. In fact, even initially, the order did not mean that. This is what they thought it meant, that we will be questioned for our thoughts. And this is why they raised the question. And Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, at that time, he did not even want to clarify this in their mind that, look, it's not every thought that goes through your mind. It's when you make a firm plan of doing something. He did not even want to take that direction. He wanted to make them realize that your responsibility is obedience of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, regardless of what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says. You are supposed to say, سَمِعْنَا وَأَطَعْنَا غُفْرَانَكَ رَبَّنَا وَإِلَيْكَ الْمَصِيرُ. As I'm looking at the seerah of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, it's really puzzling which of the incidents to read about Sahaba Ridwanullahi alayhim ajma'een's obedience to Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, because the whole seerah is full of it. In fact, the complete life of Sahaba Ridwanullahi alayhim ajma'een is full of these examples. In fact, really, looking at it from this angle, we can say now that that was their whole life. This was their whole life, nothing but obedience to Allah and His Messenger sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. They're always looking forward what Allah wants from me at this time. Allah wants this from me, that's it. It's done. You don't have to ask me. There is no question to ask me now. For us, we have attached so many things with our souls that if my people will allow me, if my family will accept it, if my situation will allow, I have to ask permission, take permission to see if I can do these things. For Sahaba Ridwanullahi alayhim ajma'een, everything was out of question. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said it, that's it. No more questions to ask. There is nothing even to think about anymore. That's it. We have to do it, we will do it. When Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam immigrated to Medina Munawwarah, and then Muhajirin started coming to Medina Munawwarah, we know that how Ansar, the people of Medina Munawwarah, started sharing their wealth and everything with Sahaba Ridwanullahi alayhim ajma'een, with these Muhajirin. It's very easy to see, but it's not easy to practice this. When we say that these Ansar, they started giving half of their assets, half of their wealth to these Muhajirin. A newcomer comes. They don't even know who this person is. All they know is that this person chose to come and live in Medina Munawwarah for the sake of Allah and His Messenger sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. As soon as they would see someone arriving in Medina Munawwarah, the people of Ansar would be rushing to Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Ya Rasulullah, there is a new person came. Please assign this person to me. I would like to take him as my brother. And what did this brotherhood meant? Half of his wealth, half of his business, his home, everything. He's going to take half of it and give it to this new brother. The person who he have never met before. Not only this, after giving up half of their wealth now to these Sahaba Ridwanullahi alayhim, to these newcomers, now the second requirement from them is you have to give sadaqat in the path of Allah. In addition to the zakat, we know that everything was done through the sadaqat and charity from these Sahaba that were in Medina Munawwarah. It wasn't that people from outside are continuously sending big donations. Yes, sometimes Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam would receive gifts, but we know that those gifts normally were given to the poor people of Medina Munawwarah. But running the whole state, and as it kept on growing, running the whole Islamic state was done only from the donation of Sahaba Ridwanullahi alayhim ajma'in, and from their zakat. Whether it's zakat or their sadaqat. It was a responsibility on the shoulder of Sahaba Ridwanullahi alayhim ajma'in. So these people of Medina Munawwarah, they gave half of their wealth to these newcomers, and now, in addition to this, they are giving all of their zakat and sadaqat. This simply means adding more responsibilities, too many more responsibilities, so I need more time to work. I have to put more time into my business, into my work. But the order comes from Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam that you have to spend time with me in the masjid. When we go out, then you have to go with me. We are going out for Umrah, we are going out for Hajj, then we are going out for in different wars. You have to join me. Ya Rasulullah, with all of these responsibilities, added responsibilities. But no one asked that question. Spending so much, giving out so much, and now even giving out their time, and they don't have time to run the business. But Sahaba Ridwanullahi alayhim ajma'in, they gave up all of that because they knew that the most important thing for us in our life is just to obey Allah and His Messenger sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. This is the most important thing. If I have it, I will give it out. When Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam will tell me to give out something, if I have it, I will give it. And if I don't get the chance to make anything, then I'm excused. But at this time, the requirement from me is, I should go out with him and I'm going out. Total obedience to Allah and His Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam. They did not look at their needs, at their requirements, at their atmosphere, at their families, at any requirement, no attachments whatsoever. Allah wants it, that's it. This is what will happen now. Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, as he was breaking all the traditions of Jahiliyyah, and he's really destroying these traditions of Jahiliyyah. Sahaba Ridwanullahi alayhim ajma'in, as soon as they came into this deen, they knew that they had to throw all of these traditions behind their backs. That's it. Everything is gone. Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam practically wanted to take every action to make sure that no traditions of Jahiliyyah are still in the hearts of any of the believers. They don't go after their customs, their traditions. He wanted to destroy that totally. And there is a reason behind it. Inshallah, we'll talk about it as time will come. He went to his aunt's home And he said to her that I would like to marry Zayd with your daughter Zaynab. Zayd, who came to Makkah Mukarramah, Zayd bin Haritha, who came to Makkah Mukarramah as a slave. And this was a tradition that a slave person, even if he's set free, regardless of how virtuous he is, but he cannot marry a person who is an Arab, especially from Quraysh. Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam wanted to break that tradition. So he goes to his aunt and he says, I would like to marry Zayd with your daughter Zaynab. And she says, how could you even think about it? We are from Quraysh and from Bani Hashim, the highest clan of Quraysh. And then my daughter is known for her ability, for her beauty and everything. This is not possible at all. We can't even think about it. He says, no. But this has to happen. And then he talks to the girl directly. That listen, this is something that I feel it should happen. And she's hesitant. How could she marry someone that was a slave? All of her friends are getting married to some leaders of Quraysh, some big people, and here she is, that she's proposed to a person who was initially a slave. Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam continuously kept on approaching them about it. And of course, they did not want that to happen. Finally, the ayah of Quran al-Kareem was revealed. وَمَا كَانَ لِمُؤْمِنٍ وَلَا مُؤْمِنَةٍ إِذَا قَضَى اللَّهُ وَرَسُولُهُ أَمْرًا أَن يَكُونَ لَهُمُ الْخِيَرَةُ مِنْ أَمْرِهِمْ. When Allah and His Messenger sallallahu alayhi wa sallam make a decision about something, no mu'min man or woman has any right to reject that or to have their own opinion about it. وَمَنْ يَعْصِ اللَّهَ وَرَسُولَهُ فَقَدْ ضَلَّ ضَلَالًا مُبِينًا. A person who obeys Allah or disobeys Allah and His Messenger sallallahu alayhi wa sallam has gone too far from the right track. As soon as the ayah was revealed, Zaynab radiallahu anha said to her mother, ma'am, we have no right now to reject this. I'm agreeing to it, just go ahead and do it. And she got married to Zayd radiallahu anhu. Later on she was divorced and then got married to Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, became al-Mu'mineen, my mother and your mother. But this is how he was showing them that how much obedience is required in this deen, in Iman. Total obedience to Allah and His Messenger sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. So the bottom line is, this deen is very simple and very easy if we get into the habit of obedience. Obeying Allah and His Messenger sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Allah said it, that's it, let's do it. And if we don't have that habit of obeying Allah and His Messenger sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, then everything is very difficult. So the difficulty is not in deen, the difficulty is in our heart, is within us. Any difficulty that we face, that this is very difficult because of my people, because of tradition, because of my family, they won't accept it. This is all just because we don't have that habit of saying, سمعنا وأطعنا. People around us, everyone around us should know that when this order would come from Allah and His Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam, anything that would come from Allah and His Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam, this person is going to say سمعنا وأطعنا. Then no matter what we are going to tell this person, he is not going to care about it. Now, no tradition, no person, no relatives, no one in the world will come on this person's way because they know that he has said سمعنا وأطعنا over there. And he's not going to listen to anything else. Full obedience to Allah and His Messenger sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. And this is what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in the Quran. Ya ayyuhal ladina amanu dkhulu fi silmi kaffa. O you who believe, enter into the silm, into the submission totally and fully. Just fully submit yourself to Allah and His Messenger sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Just submit yourself. As scholars have given a beautiful example to it, and that is just like when a person is sitting in the barber shop. And the barber, when he turns this person's face towards the right side, and he says, just keep your head this way, and he keeps his head that way. Then he turns his face to the other side, and he says, just keep it this way, and he keeps it that way. Now he puts his head down, and he keeps it that way. He's going to make him put up his head up, and then he's going to keep it that way. He has given his head to the barber, he's not going to move his head. This is how we need to submit ourselves. Of course, much more than this, but if we do this much, we will understand the whole deen. Everything will become simple and easy. Then when Allah says this side, we say, okay, I'm going this way. He says this side, then that side. We won't say, no, I have to keep on moving my head. Full submission to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Udkhulu fi silmi kaffa. And if a person does not submit himself totally to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, then what happens? وَلَا تَتَّبِعُوا خُطُوَاتِ الشَّيْطَانِ. This person will be following the steps of shaitan. Then, at different times of our life, we'll find ourselves trapped into the tricks of shaitan. And the only way of protecting ourselves from shaitan and the tricks of shaitan is full submission to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Now if we look at it from this angle, we will realize that this deen is very simple and easy. All we have to do is just develop this habit that we submit ourselves totally to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and we get into the habit of saying, سَمِعْنَا وَأَطَعْنَا. We heard it and we obeyed. That's it. Get into the habit of obeying Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and His Messenger sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, then everything becomes simple. Not only that it will become simple and easy, then we will be looking forward. Let me just find what Allah says. If Allah says this, it's solved. That's it. Then I'm not looking for anything else. Sometimes people will have long meetings. Should we serve this food or this food? In one of these meetings, I was there. The meeting took about 2.5 hours. Should we serve pizza or we should serve something else? After 2.5 hours, when they were told that pizza is haram, still they're insisting, no, but we spent so much time now discussing it, we don't want to open this anymore. So it's still, pizza is going to be served, even though it is haram. This is when a person is running away from the obedience of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. For us, if we get into the habit, Allah said it, if Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says no to this, that's it, then this is out, then this is the only choice. That's it, I don't even have to think about it. Then how simple things will become for us. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us tawfiq to always obey Him and His Messenger sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, and always get into the habit of obeying Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, looking forward to receive the orders of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, looking forward to receive the orders from Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, and always follow it and obey it. أقول قولي هذا وأستغفر الله لي ولكم ولسائر المسلمين والمسلمات وآخر دعوانا الحمد لله.